let's see what happens. Third tries a charm, maybe. We'll see what happens. We're going to try this third time and see what happens. We have 3 people on watching. Lay down. Let's see what happens. Curiosity. It's not kicked it out yet. So far. Maybe it... It just wants us to give up, Art.
We're working through it. Good so far.
Yeah, so far we've got audio and it's not cutting out, and the video looks crisp. Did we just figure this out again as we sent everybody off in defeat?
Well,
but it's working, and it hasn't shut off. So try number 3, Art Smith, Johnny Jalopy.
We're back.
Sketchy Live Monday. The podcast, we had every intention of sitting here and chatting about Turkey Rod Run and all the changes and different things that we saw. This is the first Turkey Rod Run I got to go to on a Thursday on Thanksgiving, of course, because there's always meals and stuff going on.
Right.
So I never get a chance to do that because there's always family stuff going on. I have had the opportunity to go to Turkey Rod Run on a Saturday night, or a Saturday, and then into Saturday night, and then into Sunday morning. And like you said, usually by then everything's been picked over as far as the swap meet areas and different stuff like that.
Right.
The car corral seemed big, but I think smaller than years past. So I'm kind of curious. Maybe what are your thoughts on? You said you only been there twice overall.
Well, initially when I remember back in the day when I went. The way you enter into the infield under the tunnel,
right?
And the cars were all starting right there. As soon as you came under the tunnel to the infield,
right?
And I don't think they were.
Well, we didn't go. We didn't really.
We were like right adjacent to the garages.
I will say this is the first time I spent searching,
right?
Because you and I had an agenda of items. Well, I shared with it, but I didn't realize you were looking for a grill. But had you said that, I'd have been like, hell yeah, dude, we'll find like 9 of them.
Well,
with no issues.
Nothing specific, man. I mean, I do the same thing when I go to estate sales.
Yeah.
I'm always going to the barn in the backyard.
Right. Yeah. That's
out
where all
in the woods.
The hidden gems are.
Yeah. Well. Nobody wants to climb over and in stuff, but you never know what you're gonna see, man. You just look over in a pile, start conversing with people, and ask them what you might want, and somebody else might hear you talking.
Right.
Remember the one kid?
Yeah. Yeah, you could definitely tell you're a veteran person that goes and looks for items and different things, where for me, I looked at what was there and I went, nothing there.
That's what I did, man. I looked at other people's wagons.
Yeah.
I said, hey, man, well, what are you putting that mirror on? And he's like, well, I got a square body. I'm like, listen, you got any 94 parts at home? He's like, yeah, by the way, I do. And even though it's not there, they may know somebody or have it themselves that they didn't bring it yet.
Okay, so so your philosophy is not only look at the vendor or the person that's selling stuff, you're also looking at who's buying stuff,
right?
Because you might be able to negotiate or find out other information from them.
Because if they have what you potentially might want
Right.
already in their wagon, that's not the only, they need parts. So they might have something that is abundantly laying around
Right.
and, you know, get a phone number, make a deal.
Yeah,
you know?
there were many times I was like, you'd be at one person's booth, and I'm already
Right.
like 7 booths down. And I'm like, that was all candles, that was crafts. I'm moving on.
I'm still back there striking deals.
And I look back, and you're talking to somebody.
Right.
But it still seemed like the first couple rows felt like the big indication of how the day was going to kind of go, because it was like the first 2 people, it was like nuts and bolts and stuff, like
Right.
those yellow cappy things for
The gas
the
cans.
gas cans. There was thousands
And
of
I
those
told you,
things.
I said, man, you always lose those yellow.
Yeah. It's the vent
of
caps.
caps,
Yeah.
and everybody had them. And it's like, man, unbelievable. And the screws that I wanted, I couldn't find one. The long,
Yeah,
The
you were
long-
looking
the
for.
long-
You said there's a guy here the times I've been, or mostly at
every time.
any time you go to a swap meet thing, there's a guy with a table that has
Right.
like 8-inch screws
Right.
for a bundle like 10, and you can get a great deal on them.
Absolutely. Not
So-
one in the whole place.
Hey, so just to welcome to the broadcast, Scott Pritwell. We got Michael Williams. We got Brian Bentley. We got Elizabeth Puglisi. Oh, that's Itty B is on. Says, sorry, I'm not there. Yeah, we're sorry too. It doesn't work without you, obviously. You definitely have made sure you've kept your position, because what a nightmare trying to get this to work. Alicia Allen is here. Alicia and Chris some really great people that we met out at I believe when we went to Autorama. Some really
okay.
cool, got really cool custom interior and builds. You are the linchpin, babe. You are the linchpin. Liz Daughtry is here. So when we first made that first turn, I had these high expectations of like, man, I'm going to have no problems finding anything I might want. There's going to be so many options. Like, maybe we should have brought a trailer, and I just was like, man, it's gonna be cool, because the weather was perfect. It wasn't too hot.
Because we were like, I sure hope this golf cart guy that gave us a ride will haul parts back to the truck.
Right? You did say that. You're like, I wonder if they'll haul parts back. And so we make that first turn, and we get 3 or 4 things in.
Right.
And for myself, I was like, oh, because I looked down to the end of where it normally ends.
Right.
And it was abruptly ending. Like,
Yeah,
that
really
aisle
quick.
was already ended, and I'm like, there was room for like another 50 or
on
60
down
into the
on
corner,
curve.
into turn 1
Right.
of the speedway is where they usually pack. And there was cars there, like cars that were probably for sale.
Right.
So that was an interesting, like, oh, okay, it doesn't seem like as big. I didn't see as many big RVs and stuff, and big trailers is where you usually see where like, oh, these people brought some stuff. And there wasn't as many of those either. But it was definitely different. Definitely
I don't know. I
wasn't
tell you
what
what,
I expected.
man. I think Webster
I haven't been there in
had
forever
a lot
either.
more stuff going on.
Really?
You know, but yeah,
And that's-
as far as
and that's not
stuff
as-
on the ground,
And not as big a
stuff you can pick.
right.
Because like I said, this one guy, he had up in Webster, he had an old ambulance,
Mm-hmm.
but he converted it into a parts hauler.
Okay.
And man, this thing was loaded down. He was pulling like the back of a bus behind the thing.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, he cut the front end off the bus and made it like a hauler
No kidding.
with a flip up door in the back.
Huh.
You know,
Yeah.
he put some time in.
Yeah.
You know,
So that's what he's doing.
yeah.
He's probably not just hitting Webster. He's hitting.
Oh yeah, he goes around.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
But he said he had a supply yard at
Okay.
his house. You know, somewhere in South Carolina. So I pinged it on my Google Maps, but I don't know about going up there. You got to make a run,
Yeah, that's a run for sure.
right?
And so we traveled and started walking around and stuff. And again, I was looking for some Model A parts and different things for Rose, and I was looking for any kind of window I could use to make a back window for Kona, because I really have no limitations other than size.
I think it was that, and you mentioned about the spindles.
Right. We some spindles for. She's pacing there. That's all we need is her to knock that down. Some spindles to looking for some like 32 spindle, so I could put my drop axle on the Model A and still keep the mechanical brakes, because it's actually the point in which you attach the mechanical brakes on those spindles are
Man,
like
what you
2
need
inches
to do?
taller.
You need to tell the people about when you did the front of the axle, something was like sheared into, almost rusted out or something.
Oh yeah.
Something you said it could have fell out of there.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
When we went to lower the front of the car, that was we talked about that before. When we went to lower the front of Rose, it was, I mean, there was a bolt. It was like 2 bolts holding the whole front end on, and one good smack to the front end as far as hitting a bump or something.
Yeah, the whole front, it would have
Well,
came
it would
out.
have just came right out, and I'd have been sitting full frame on the
man.
ground. So it was really good that we saw.
I remember asking you, how did you feel once you saw that after the fact, and when you was driving it around all the time, man?
Well, I was driving it not a lot, but we had driven.
Yeah, but you had no idea.
I
that
had
was going
no
on like
idea
that.
because we had. I think by that time we had drove it to Tarpon and stuff, and we had gone some distance.
Yeah,
a
that
little
would have
bit.
been bad.
And there was one where they had welded a bolt. They had welded it to a bolt,
Right.
Instead of just putting a new U-bolt in.
Right.
Just some of the stuff people do, shade tree of stuff that isn't good.
It's called concealed stuff that you don't see, that you wish you did.
EDB is saying, saw you working on the project day one. Family project will be so wonderful. Hi, Lizzie. Oh, just she's reacting to Alicia Allen's that they just started their VW bus barn find from 6 years ago. So that should be really cool and should be pretty darn neat. So look, even her just sitting back watching, she can't help but get in here and chime in.
Well, that's good.
And be the and there's my buddy Craig who helped me find Rose. Says, Johnny, you don't need new spindles. You can use the spindles you have. Right, but you were the one that suggested I got those 32 ones because they would be longer in order to modify. It would be less cutting of the stuff. But man, we sure do need to. I still want to get that drop axle on there because remember we saw the stance on that one video we were watching.
Right.
With it dropped down, and even Art was like, "Wow, that really looks
Yeah,
good."
I was like, man, how did he get that car to sit like that?
And
that
I'm
was
like,
on the old drag race
yeah,
video.
and I was like, it's a drop axle away is from how Rose is sitting now. Think of 4 inches lower in the
those
front of there.
front
It'll
tires were
tuck those.
tucked.
Oh my God, that looks so good. So we were I was like, shoot, I'll have no problems finding those spindles here. And not to mention other stuff.
Right.
Now I did find there was a guy selling some Model A or 36 or 37 spoked wheels like I got on Rose now.
Those rusty ones for what is
He
it,
wanted
$450
yeah, almost $500 for them.
with the flat tires.
They were
on them?
terrible. They were in horrible shape.
I said, John, man, I said, listen, man, you get these, man, you bead blast them. It might not be anything left.
They were terrible. Hal Schaefer is on the podcast. Real deal. How about it? Carburetor Man checking in from Georgia. What's up, Hal? Good to see you. Yeah, it was. But anyway, so we went looking for stuff.
Yeah, they would have been wall art.
And
pretty much for the
there
barn.
there was a lot of that too. There was a lot of really cool fabricated things, but the only vendor there used to be like places that.
Dude, I think the biggest thing that we saw, man, was like literature. You know what I mean? The magazine print ads.
There was a lot of that, but I even looked. I was even trying to find like some Model A manuals
Right.
and different stuff. Nothing. It was all 60s, 70s stuff.
Right.
It was listen. If you had a 60s Mustang,
Hey, that was
a Turkey Rod Run was for you. They had tons of 60s, 70s Mustang stuff. If you had a Pontiac, anything 60s Pontiac, they
Right.
had your gear. You found one, as you were talking about your grill thing, you found one vendor in the whole place that had Chevy truck panels and sheet metal and stainless.
and everything that's pre 1988
Yeah,
because I needed
and it was only
window cranks for my 94.
right, and it was only one guy, so therefore
Right.
prices were at a premium because he was the only guy.
Yeah. I mean,
And
Yeah.
there was a whole, Art was talking to this guy, and I walked away, and then I came back, and and then we walk away, and you're telling me the story of like it almost went to brawl. Guy handed you a brochure or something.
yeah, the parts manual,
Yeah.
the parts book for his company.
Yeah.
He said he was
Everyone like that usually has a catalog, and they hand you a
Right.
catalog. Hey man, here you go, take a look, right? Or hey, you asked, hey, can I get one of those? And the guy gave you one,
right.
and then was like, give me that back.
And then he wanted it back. He said, you're not gonna keep it. You're gonna throw it in the garbage. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna throw it in the garbage, man. I mean, I'm gonna. Well, you said you didn't have a truck. I said I do, but I don't think you. I'm asking you if you have the parts that I need.
Yeah,
So I just said, all right, man. Here's the catalog back. I just look at it online. No problem. No, you can have it. No,
yeah. It was really weird. I was like, what is going on?
I don't even know how that happened, man. But anyway, life is good.
You want to talk about the name of the company so we can really give them some?
No, I ain't gonna do
just
that,
kidding.
man. I mean, unbelievable though. I mean, you go places, man. You want to interact, just to.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was gonna go left like that, man. It was
Well,
really,
I was walking through the sheet metal area, and not one single. They had like 7 guys working this big giant it took up about 5 different booth sections, and they got all this sheet metal
it
and
was
stuff.
massive.
And I was looking through the sheet metal because I had at one time I was going to try to use like 66. What year's your truck? Your C10
the C30,
or C30? That
60
body style.
the 66.
So 66. I was trying to find like cab corners
Yeah,
because that's what I wanted to weld into Kona
right.
to make the because I thought how cool would that be to do, that year truck
Make
and
a smooth transition on
yeah.
the backside.
that way you'd go, that doesn't look Volkswagen, that looks like something else,
It'll work though.
and then it would be like, well, where did it come from? So I remember I was looking for those kind of parts. Anyways, not one single guy left the shade, and it was shaded, and then he didn't come talk to me like, hey man, what are you looking for? I was like, I guess
It's
they
sort
really
of like
they don't want to really sell this
Do you
stuff.
want to sell any parts today, or did you come to hang out, vacation?
Yeah, it didn't feel like they really wanted to.
Yeah, that was weird, man. I mean, I'm trying to like buy something,
Yeah.
inquiring if you have it,
Yeah,
and it just the wheels fell off.
it was.
man. I'm like,
So, and again, I don't know if that was because it was Thursday, and they're like, well, we want to hold on to our stuff.
maybe they were
make sure we can
hungry.
make
They
it.
didn't have any turkey yet.
Making sure that they could get through the whole weekend. It was weird, and that part because I
No,
was
he
interested.
said he said I didn't print many of them. Those things cost $2 to print. I said, dude, I'll buy it off you.
And that's another. You expected to come to a 4-day event, and you only printed off enough. You're hoarding them.
They cost $2 a piece to print.
I
I'm
don't
like,
want to.
okay.
I don't want to
so-
be giving these out.
Yeah, that
you
was
might be a
weird.
potential customer. So funny. Let's see. Let's read what we got here. Brian. Brian asks, "Hi from Little Rock, North Arkansas. What's up?" ADB says, "So you didn't get anything, neither of you?" No, we got a few things. Hal Schaefer says, "Direct message him for some Model A parts." I definitely will do that. Alicia Allen. What's the name of the event you went to? It's called Turkey Rod Run. So in Florida, Turkey Rod Run
in the
has
Speedway.
at the Daytona Speedway on Thanksgiving Day is the first day, and it runs through that Sunday. And they have events, and like for instance, they had Joe Martin come, and he was making an appearance. They had Giuseppe, I forget what the little kid's name is, Giuseppe. He's on Instagram and YouTube and stuff, and he made an appearance. And then there's a big car show. There's a big car show, and then that at the night you go to downtown Daytona by the pier and stuff.
Yeah, you
They
told
do
me
a
about
cruise there, and there's like a big giant car show there. It's really cool. So if you ever get an opportunity to go to Turkey Rod Run as a car thing, in years past, it's amazing. This one seemed like it was. I don't know why there wasn't as many people. It didn't feel as packed, but it was a Thursday, so I've never experienced.
that. No, I've never.
Maybe
went
that's
on
maybe that's a normal because it's Thanksgiving, so people are like, I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hit it Saturday. I'm sure Saturday was huge.
But that was nice to know though, because I don't know if it'll be. How's the enthusiasm for next time?
Well, I liked that we didn't have to. We weren't fighting to get into
No, it
or
wasn't
see
crowded.
things, and it wasn't
But
crowded.
that was Thursday though. I mean, Saturday might have been a whole different deal. But
Right.
I don't think they would have had any more stuff.
No, I don't. Maybe a few more vendors might have came in on a Saturday.
Right.
Maybe. I can't imagine double what they had showing up on Saturday. Because that's what it felt like. It was like double what the amount I remember being there when I went on a Saturday was not there. So that part was kind of strange that it
Yeah,
wasn't
I'll
as,
look at
as
that
busy.
map again because the map pretty much showed you where everything was at on that pamphlet we got.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah, I forgot to bring. I was going to bring it in here. And show
yeah, I
people.
mean,
But Alicia, yeah, so it's a pretty cool thing in Florida, and they have a spring rod run as well. I think it's a three-day event. I think it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
I did get something.
So Art did buy some stuff.
Yeah,
That's the funny.
but it wasn't automotive related.
That's what I was gonna say. That's the part I was like, oh, when Art goes to a swap meet, because Art's is a very veteran swap meter.
a picker.
Yes, picker. I didn't
Yeah.
want to. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
So you were he's picking up different things, and I'm like, what are you
gonna do with
what
that?
do you do with that? But so you were like, oh, we found one guy. He had this like 15 foot hose for gas line for like a propane tank.
Yeah, but it was on a heater.
No, but that was before you found there was a guy selling
Oh,
one.
yeah.
And he was like, oh, $40. You're like, $40?
Yeah.
And then you, like 4 more booths later, found one attached to a propane heater. And the guy was like, I don't know if the heater works. And you're like, I don't care. The hose.
$10. I need the hose off this thing.
And he buys it for $10.
Right.
So he's already, so now we're walking around. Art's carrying this heater. And of course, everybody's commenting.
What are you doing there with a heater in Florida? I said, listen, I just bought it for the hose.
Yeah.
You
Or days
the
like
ho-
today where it was cold.
Yeah. You know, I'm like, oh man. So I'm getting bagged about the
Yeah.
carrying a heater around and it's in Florida. I'm like,
Right.
listen, I need the hose.
But Art, you had scored, you bought something.
Yeah, I mean,
And then I just kept looking at things, and next thing I know, I'm looking at Hot Wheels and shit, and things I don't need, nothing. Because I was like, I'm not. I found one set.
Tyco slot cars.
You were
I'm
looking at Tyco. Yeah, that's right. Yep. There was some stuff I wanted to buy. Like there was a couple times I saw some signs. I was like, oh, I'd really like. That's a cool sign.
Right.
And the price was pretty nice, but I was like, I don't want to carry that freaking sign around. And then, or do the whole, hey man, can you hold out here? I'll be back later. Or hey Art, let's hold on. You're shopping.
But you know, when I did tell somebody that, I didn't stand them up. I'm like, look, man.
No. We
go
went
back over there.
No,
and
you went
grab
back
this
and you
thing.
scored that thing. So then, so after pretty much hitting, I'd say 60-70% of the swap meet, you found some pressure washer cart that you're like, shit, I'm gonna turn this thing into something.
Well, the other guy,
For
he
your yard.
wanted. That's gonna be a engine stand,
Right.
a start stand. I'm like, nah, man.
Which it could have been.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Mm-hmm. It would have been a good one. Just
Yeah.
roll it right up. But
Powder coated and had stuff, but it.
nah, I needed the wheels
Yeah.
for my parts. Was it like a, what do you call it? My pipe stand,
Right,
make
right.
a stand for my EMT pipe and PVC pipes
Yeah,
to
well,
get it off the ground.
again, the cool thing that I learned from watching you on that buy was that you're looking at, I can use that for this and that for that and this
Yeah.
for that, and how much is this? I just bought a solution to 4 projects
Right.
in one purchase.
You wanted
For
$30 for the whole thing, and
Yeah.
you couldn't get one wheel and tire combo for that. So
No.
you get the whole thing for 30.
Yeah, a new wheel off a cart's about $50 now.
Right.
now, it's unbelievable. What City B saying? Do they do another? They do. They do one in the spring, and yeah, I've always wanted to go to that too.
Yeah, they have one.
But
I saw it on the sign.
Yeah, which is pretty. I've heard good things about that one too. So we kept searching for stuff, and we did come across finally at the end of the day.
Right.
We found one Model A parts booth, and they had sold everything, and which the folks that were running it,
They're the ones that let you know that
yeah,
there's nobody else out here.
we're the only ones.
Because the other people passed away and they bought their stuff.
Yeah.
So
they had a sick flathead engine on a start stand.
what was
and
that
then
thing? 16,000?
Was it that much?
Yeah, it was some unique 4-cylinder.
Oh, well, they had
Something.
they had the 4-banger that was hopped up.
Right.
It was a dual carbureted. I think it was just dual carburetor.
Looked like
with
something
a
that you'll put in to take to the salt flats or something.
well, it was a flathead 4, just like what's in the
Right.
in Rose, just hopped up.
But she said it was
High compression head on it. It had some really cool exhaust on it. I think it was running 2 Strombergs
Right.
carburetors on it with a really cool intake
Listen,
and stuff. It was really really neat. I would love to hear it run, but they weren't run. They didn't turn anything on.
Yeah, he should have. No, they didn't start it up.
No, I wanted to hear that. I wanted to hear that flathead run. And then they had like a 34 Ford there that they had another flathead inside of, and I would have really loved to hear them start that thing up too. But they're really cool people. And then they had a whole table full of some different carburetors and different stuff. And they said that you said that they sold all that to the Model A Club.
Yeah, they were coming back later on that day or the next day to pick up all the stuff, because I asked the guy, I said, who's the carburetor? The restoration guy. He
Right.
said, what did he say? He was in Europe?
Yeah, he says this guy is in his late 80s. He's been coming to Turkey Rod Run for years and years and years.
Right.
Never misses the show. And now that's the only show he goes to. And the show is this week, and he decided to take a trip to Europe, and they're running his booth. But they've been doing it, I guess, for the last 6
Yeah,
years.
because the carburetor housings, what he had them anodized or something.
Yeah, it was a lot of cool stuff. I wish I
Right.
could remember the name of the booth.
Um,
I didn't.
I didn't take a picture.
We were too busy. We were just too busy bullshitting with the people, and really cool people. And they got a little bit of like Art was my bodyguard guy, and they were just giving him directions on taking photos and a bunch of different
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm the photographer, the picture taker guy. But that's cool though.
Oh my gosh, Shaggy LeBlanc is on the broadcast, my friend. What is up, dude? How are you doing? Hope all is well, man. I need to call you. I've been wanting to give you a ring. I just not sure, what's going on, and didn't want to bug you. But man, I'd really love to chat and see how you're doing and things. Shaggy LeBlanc has been somebody who's watched our broadcast art since we started.
Right.
And he's the guy that got us into Autorama. Is in Detroit. He's the guy that was like, man, come. I'll get you in there, and he got us in and set us up in his booth in Autorama, to where we're now. The last times we've been there, it's been in Shaggy's booth.
You're part of the game.
Little Daddy Roth is in the same booth area and
I
stuff.
heard that, man.
So really cool and super cool fabricator and builder and painter. Knows a ton of stuff about hot rods and things, and just a really all around great great guy. So Shaggy, dude, so happy that you're on, man. I hope you're feeling better. And again, I'd love to catch up with you and see how you're doing.
Well, was he ill?
He's been struggling with some stuff, and
Okay.
hopefully he's feeling better.
Yeah, get well soon, man.
You know, painter who, old school painter. You know,
Yeah,
respirator,
we've been breathing some stuff for a
yeah,
while.
yeah, for a while. Yeah. So hopefully everything is going good with you, my friend. So
Yeah, any kind of fumes anymore, man. I just instantly don't feel good.
well,
man.
that's
why I bought that respirator I got. That
right.
full-
Yeah.
It's got the yeah.
Do
That's
you
on
use
my,
it when you're welding too now?
Oh yeah, just
Yeah.
change the lens
Right.
because man, I thought I was gonna die that one time.
Well, didn't you say you were welding?
Well, it was a
You didn't know it was
galvanized, and I
galvanized,
didn't know
or-
it.
Yeah.
You know, because I cleaned it, but the metal got so hot on down the pipe, the fumes were coming out the other end of it.
Oh, okay. Which
And the
was
wind
worse.
was the wind at the other end of the pipe was reversing it, coming back to me in the air over the back of my head. And when I opened the lens, I saw that, but it was too late. Because I had the
You'd
fan
already-
blowing, but it
you'd
was
already-
recirculating back at me.
You had already made it.
Yeah,
It was coming back at you.
Oh man. So yeah, so the smoke was like yellow. And as soon as I saw that, man, I was like, man, this is not good.
Not good.
Yeah. So it's not the metal. You can clean the metal, but the heat is still dissipating down the metal.
Right. Well, you're the reason I got some metal because I was going to make a frame for my back window,
Right.
and you took a look at it and you're like, dude, do you know? Is that galvanized? I'm like, I don't think it is. It looks like just cheap metal.
Yeah, I told you to do a spark test, man.
And we checked it, and it still didn't seem as though it was galvanized, but I was like, but it was still hard to tell.
Right.
So after you kind of shared with me more, because I had already read about the dangers of doing
If you
stuff
got
with
a doubt,
galvanized,
just
and
go
I was
ahead
like,
on and
"Ugh."
say it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's what I did. I was like, this probably is, and I'm just gonna wait, and I'll figure something else out.
Yeah, get the better fresh air.
Yeah, yeah. Well, even that, I just was like, I don't want to even take a chance breathing that stuff in.
Right.
No thanks. So Turkey Rod Run, man. So success, or what's your overall feel of it, and
Well,
any other cool stories you want to talk about as far as the show itself?
I go do things, man, just for the chase to see what you're gonna. The unknown is find what you don't see, and if you see it, you found it. You know, but if you don't, be disappointed if you don't find anything.
Right.
Just be thankful you're able to go have an attempt at trying to find something.
Yeah, the fun was in the search. The
Yeah.
search was fun,
and
that
hanging
was-
out and
Yeah,
seeing the people.
there was a
You know
lot
what
of
I mean?
people. Holy cow! It was like gangs, everybody in a rascal scooter. That's the whole big thing
Yeah,
now.
you get ran over with the gazelles.
Jeepers, man! It was hundreds and hundreds. There'd be times you're like, "Is this a Hell's Angels gang going by? What is this?" And it was.
The sign said everything that was not allowed in the
was in there.
yeah, and it was like going zigzagging back and forth.
It was unreal.
So
But I get it. It's a long walking. I mean, we did it almost. What did I say? 9 miles?
I think you said 7.
7? Okay, 7 miles.
I was like, man, no wonder my knees were spaghetti by the time we got home.
I'm still kind of I was like, why are my legs so sore right now? And I was like, oh yeah, dummy. On Thanksgiving, you walked a marathon. But at least it wasn't super hot, and the
Right.
weather was pretty darn good. Oh, no, awesome. Shag says, I'm good and a lot better. Thankful for all the prayers, dude. So
yeah,
cool.
that's
Let me
what's up,
bump that
man. Get well soon, man.
Yeah. Yeah, we hope to see you again real soon, dude. And thanks for popping on. So happy to see that. Yeah, it was definitely a different experience. I would like to share an interesting. I didn't know. I'll come clean because hey, Doug Dorr is on. What's up, man? No, we didn't even eat dinner. That's the sad part. Is we stopped and got a coffee when we took off
Over there at the place.
Yeah, well, we got a coffee before we left, and then
You
Doug
ruined-
Dorr's like, "You were walking off dinner," and I'm like, "No."
No, we didn't. No turkey. Still haven't had any turkey.
Did you? So you had like some breakfast stuff, and then you didn't eat there, did you?
No.
Oh, you had a hot. Did you have a hot dog with me?
Remember, you said, "Man, it's time for
Hot dog and a
a
beer.
hot dog," and I said,
Whoa.
"Are you brave enough to go for it?" You was like, "Man, I'm not scared of anything in here." I'm like, "Okay, there's a vendor right there."
Yeah.
And you said, "Well, I don't know about that one. Let's walk a little more." I'm like, okay.
So Thanksgiving, I had every intention of having pizza for my Thanksgiving meal, and I'm here to tell you, my Thanksgiving meal consisted of I had some egg bites in the morning,
Yeah, those-
and then at Wawa, and then I had a hot dog,
yeah.
and got home because the whole time I was like, I don't want to be in the bathroom. And I don't want to be running to the bathroom and driving home. I didn't want to have to
I
make
had
bathroom
those-
stops.
I had those 3 cups of coffee, man. And
That-
then it was like, oh my God.
I wasn't going to mention that, but yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you had a moment of like, where is it? And where? What was the Porta Johns?
Yeah,
Yeah,
not good.
No.
Anyway, we survived.
You
it
did.
all.
and thank God I didn't have to utilize those as well. But I thought after the hot dog for sure it was going to happen, and it didn't. And I think
trying to
it's
think,
still
man,
here. The hot dog is still there. So that was my Thanksgiving
The
meal.
one thing about it, they didn't have any live music, man. You know what I'm saying? Normally,
Well, they were piping music through. I think.
yeah, they were doing that, but normally you'll.
No, there was no band or anything like that.
I mean, you have an event.
I mean, there might have been bands with
I
more
didn't see
by
a
the car
band.
stuff, but I don't think there was.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I
So-
don't know. I mean, you got to have some entertainment, man.
Yeah.
Do
Well, they
something.
did. They had the appearance of what's the name of the show? What's the name of the show that those people are on? Joe Martin and is it Resurrected?
Iron Resurrection.
Iron Resurrection. So they were making an appearance there. So Art and I stopped by because they had a cold Coors Airstream there.
Airstream.
And it was
Trailer.
beer 30. So I stopped and had a beer, two
A beer.
or two because it was cold. And then we're sitting there, and Art's like, "Hey, you gonna go talk to this guy? You want to get a picture with him and stuff?" I'm
What'd
like-
you say?
I was like, "I don't need to waste my time taking photos with this guy. I like his show and stuff, but I don't."
And by the time it was
And the
time to-
reality, because the reality is this: as I'm saying this to Art to try to play Johnny Cool, deep down inside, I was like, "God, it's weird because."
Cause I was gonna go over there. I was like, all right, man.
Well, because this was the weird part for me, Art. Is so this I had the same problem at SEMA.
okay.
Is that here? I have been on a Discovery Channel show, or sorry, Motor Trend show. Now
Okay.
I'm Motor Trend, but
Right.
I've been on a TV show, and this guy's on a TV show, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, how it's just weird.
Because I gave you
Like
the
I don't want to
story.
be like, I don't want to just.
Well, I gave you the story,
man.
man. When I go to drag races, I said, man, that's a guy, man. I let him breathe.
Right. Well, I mean that too, and it wasn't like I was going to geek out or fan out or whatever. I appreciate what he does.
But we were
and
getting
stuff.
ready to walk off,
Yeah.
and I got my stuff together. I'm walking,
You
and I look around,
Where
and
am
you
I?
were
at? I'm bullshitting with a guy
You're over there talking.
because it was driving me crazy. Because as everybody knows,
Oh man.
with Motor Trend right now, a lot of the shows are being canceled, and his is one of the shows as well. And I was like, I wonder. Here's an opportunity to hear it from the horse's mouth of like what's going on, right?
right.
Instead of just wondering.
But you know what, though, man? I gave you all your space, man.
Yeah, you
I
did.
was
You
like,
did.
man,
Yeah, you're like, yeah, go.
Yeah.
I thought you didn't want to talk to him. and
Oh, well, I
wanted to
didn't
talk
say
to him.
that, but
So I went over there because the truth was, dude, I didn't know. it was just weird. Anyway, so I went up and I introduced myself
Right.
to him. I mentioned the show I was on, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I know Ian." And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh yeah, you're the guy that draws the cars." I'm like, "Holy shit, this guy knows who I am." Yeah. He goes, "Yeah, that show's cool." I'm like, "Well, thanks." It's not my show, but anyways. So then I was like, hey, so really, what's going down, man? And he's like, "Well, I guess," and then this is what I heard. Maybe, and I'm not quoting. Uh, that HBO has purchased Motor Trend.
No doubt.
And so now HBO is going to add Motor Trend to, I guess, their streaming service. But he's like, he doesn't know or hasn't heard of anybody like where they're re-upping any shows or going to be like keeping them going. They're just more almost kind of grabbing them for the content in which to throw on their platform as here's for automotive guys. Here's some automotive stuff. And it's already been done, like when you're watching reruns on TV and you've seen, the same stuff that you see all the time.
Right.
So, he's like, yeah, we're just trying to figure it out now. He goes, it's like a blessing and a curse. It was really cool to get on the channel and it, showcase my business and show what we do and how we do it.
Yeah.
He goes, but now the building part is, became what it was. And now it's kind of going to be weird to kind of go back to kind of taking our time again. And we got a good client base and rebuilding a client base that isn't TV driven specifically. And then he's like, and we're even kicking around the idea of maybe even YouTube and stuff.
We'll do that.
And I was like, wow, man, that's what it feels like. Everybody's kind of going to do that is kind of just do your own thing then. Heck with, having to worry about a channel giving you
just have a camera,
being a
man.
slave to the channel. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah, that's the whole thing is then, you gotta, it all depends on how you want to do it, I suppose. But yeah. Hey, Bob Shaboom Frizz is on. What's up, Bob? How are you, buddy? We miss you as well. Another one of our great friends that we met in Detroit.
Absolutely, man.
Bob's got tons and tons of super rad cars. Amazing stuff in Detroit.
I just got tons and tons of stuff. Nothing super rad.
You got cool stuff.
I mean, it's just something to do.
And again, if you aren't familiar with Art's story, go back and look at it. It's on. We have it on our YouTube channel, where we brought you in and you talked a little bit about your truck project and stuff like that. We need to have you back on and re-update it, like go over because it was like you had finished it and it had been on the road for a little while, but you've done even more stuff to it since then.
Well, no, it's a lot of other things.
Putting you on the spot.
Yeah, but
I mean, you've done some. I mean, yeah.
Well, I got an NV 4500 transmission. I want to swap it out and stuff, but that's
the plans for the future of it.
And to put disc brakes on the front.
But it would be awesome to retell the story of, and maybe be able to grab.
We did see the vision though. Remember the 65 we saw?
Right.
That dually.
Yeah. Yes.
It was going that route
right.
at one point, but I wanted to.
I like the flatbed part.
Well,
it's such the nod to
the
you.
GMC is sitting there, like I said.
Right.
Half the battle is getting
having it
the truck, and
right.
it's there, it's sitting there. So it'll happen. We're still here.
Yeah.
As soon as we get our shop.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
When one of us wins the lottery and we can open up a shop,
goodness.
right?
Yeah, we got all the things. We got the walking foot sewing machine. We got everything, man. We just need space.
It's only money and time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shop space.
Yeah.
So
there's got to be, maybe who knows, because they're saying our population is people are leaving again because it's becoming too expensive to live in Florida.
Oh, yeah,
so maybe that's the case, and maybe some warehouses will open up, or some of these big ones or these mega warehouses will get people to move into those, and they'll leave little ones that we could find a workshop.
Amazon storage, all up and down I-4.
Yeah,
amazing.
It is amazing. They're just building these mega warehouses everywhere.
What did I say? Storage units, car washes,
Right.
and gas stations.
Yep.
The big three.
That's how they do.
But
Car
other
wash
than-
is like crazy.
Other than that, man, so entertainment value, scale of 1 to 10 for the Daytona thing on Thursday, man. Dude, I say probably a 5, man. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The 5 was that we went and we hung out,
Yeah, that I mean that.
and I make people interact with me, and that's amazing because, like I said,
Yes, you do.
back when I was younger, man, I didn't talk to nobody, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now I initiate it. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, man, tell me about this thing you got here, man. What is this thing? You know? And then you find out people want to talk about stuff.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Just drum up something, and then all of a sudden, you know, the guy that was from Lakeland,
Right.
remember? He said his little boys made him get on the YouTube.
Yeah. That well, we were giving him crap because it was Detroit.
And he was in
Something
in
muscle
Lakeland,
speed
Florida,
or something.
yeah.
And he's out of Lakeland, Florida.
I'm like,
He's like, well, I come from Flint, and back in the day, so he
kept the name.
kept kind of a nod to his upbringing.
But
and
he
stuff.
was the one that was saying about people wanting to do projects, man, and they have no idea.
Right,
of
yeah,
the monetary, the time, the cash,
right. Custom truck builder guy,
and it's not.
from chassis up, and
It's not. It's more money than you think it. It is reality. You know what I'm saying? They think it's
Yeah.
not. 50,000 can turn into 100
right,
billable hours,
right.
and like I said,
Well, and again, for a shop to be profitable,
Right.
Because you got to pay employees, insurance,
like you
root-
say,
uh,
you make the
materials,
you make the deal. Bring me $1,000 every Friday.
right?
Or 2,000 or whatever the deal is, man, or your project is getting pushed out in the parking lot.
Right. Yeah, I mean, which is a smart business plan because you're like the person that wants to get the project done is going to sit here and go keep feeding the beast,
Right.
right? Which is what you want. You don't want where guys got champagne wishes on,
But like you say,
on
man,
Kool-Aid money.
life happens also, man. You know,
Sure. Oh yeah.
all of a sudden,
Next thing you know,
halfway into it, things happen at home, man,
Yep.
and
Yep.
all of a sudden, you're buying somebody's quarter away
right,
project,
right,
and he said that happens. Mm-hmm. But his shop is still functional because
right, because they're not into, unlike other places that aren't doing it that way, where
Right.
they'll dump, the shop is eating, and now they've got all this money invested in this vehicle that's not going to pay their bill, and now they got to
And it-
find a way to
Right.
make that profitable.
and
Yeah,
they
so-
can't even sell it for what they got in it themselves.
Right? Yeah, because you're never going to recoup that cost.
Right. The deal was with the initial person who
Right,
had this project dream.
right,
You
Right.
know, now all of a sudden, pennies on the dollar, man, you're stuck.
right. Because even again, if they're getting paid to do the job, but if the job doesn't, go south, that shop is never going to recoup the money
Right.
in time in it. If they had to sell it to try to make, yeah, it's just never going to happen. It's not going to happen. That's why, again, it would be working on our own stuff. That's it. So funny, yeah. Well, even that though, even the cost for your own stuff. When you start putting pennies down, you're like, oh man, it starts adding up quick. When you start
Well,
thinking
like I
about your
tell
own project,
people, man, I've never taken anything somewhere to get fixed because I'm always the guy that somebody's calling to come fix their things.
right? But you've run into that situation though, where they're like, well, how much would it cost for you to fix it, Art? And you're like, well, here's how much it would cost. And they're like, what?
You're right. I mean, that's just doing business.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Well, and like you've said, and it's the truth of it is, there's value in the skill set that I can fix it, and since you can't do it by yourself,
Yeah, you pay for what you don't
you're going to
know.
have to pay for someone else's knowledge and talent.
Right.
So, yeah, that's just how it works.
Unfortunately, for the person that's got to shell out their cash.
That's right. So that's why kids out there learn how to weld, learn how to be a mechanic,
Right.
learn how to fix things, learn like Art is a jack of all trades. Can not only weld, fabricate, do all those kinds of things.
Well, the business is master electrician, but it
Right.
don't stop there.
No.
You know,
You're
I tell people,
a
hey,
man
you
of
tell
all
me, you tell me what you
abilities.
need done, and I can tell you if I can help you.
Right.
You know, because I'm not gonna get myself behind the 8 ball or.
And most of the times I've heard you turn anything down. It's
hey.
only been the only reason you've turned it down because you're like, I ain't it. It's gonna cost me money to go
I'm
do
gonna-
this for this person.
Yeah, you can't take a L, man, or try not to take a L.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want that at all.
So I come over and see you at the place of employment.
Right.
What are you working on now? It's like, hey man, I got this customer. They want this, this, and this done. I'm looking to see if you got XYZ parts.
Right.
You know, and we go from there. You know.
Yeah, because you're trying to find the best deal for the buck there too, so that
Well,
know.
they're paying for it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's all in the it's in the bid. So I can try to help them, but other than that, man, it's gonna be done right, or you know, you got to call the next guy.
right. Right. Yeah, and you've cleaned up a lot of messes too,
Oh yeah, I mean that happens.
where you get the hacks in there.
Oh yeah, I mean, then you're paying twice.
Right.
I'm always the bearer of the bad news, man. You can call them, but they're not coming back. You know what I mean?
Right.
They
Yeah.
got your money. They're down the road.
They're on to the next.
Right. A lot of that stuff right now with the hurricanes we had, man, it's bad.
Yeah.
Just everybody out there just doing whatever, you know. But anyway, on a better note, the Snowbirds, I think, is this weekend on. If not this weekend, yeah, it should be Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday, and Sunday.
So that's where you're headed?
I think I'm gonna try to make Saturday.
Nice. And what is that show?
The Snowbirds down in Bradenton.
For people who don't know what that is, what is it?
The Snowbirds, the Winter Series drag racing. I guess they got pro mods.
Okay. So it's the Bradenton Motorsport
Who was
complex?
my man on here that
That's
down there at the drag strip?
that is as soon as I see his name.
Yeah, he can post and tell you more about it. But like I said, that has changed from what it used to be. I mean, I'm talking about 30 years ago, man. It was 30 funny cars, 25 or 30 top fuelers.
Right.
You know, people.
Is it like a shootout kind of thing, or
No, I mean it was a.
or is it
was
kind of like Gator
a-
Nationals type?
No, not on that
event?
format back then. I think back then it was like probably an 8-car field, but everybody, the top 8 qualifiers, you know, and they run for the cash. But
Okay.
we're talking back then, years ago. But I've seen so many formats come and go, man. But right now they got that shootout that they got right now, where it's going to be in February, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
They just had the first one, and they're all coming back again. So,
Cool.
yeah,
So your plans is to try to hit that up on on Saturday night, and
probably Saturday. They go down there for Saturday.
sweet.
But I'm gonna do this job this week, knock that out, and but the Webster thing, I think it moved to the fairgrounds in Brooksville.
Yeah, it's not
let
in
them all know
Webster
that.
anymore. It's the first Sunday.
Yeah,
which
they moved it
that's
to the Brooksville. What is that? The fairgrounds?
something like that. I haven't been, so I don't know.
I haven't either, but it's whole lot closer.
Yeah, I would definitely want to go check it out. And unfortunately, it's the first Sunday, so I think we already. So it's probably this Sunday.
Really.
Yeah, because what's the count?
Remember you called me and you said, "Hey, I'm going to Webster."
Oh, actually, it was probably yesterday. That was the first one.
Yeah, and you said, and I said, "Man, the thing closed down," or that's when
Well,
they shut it down
Yeah, it was it was still not going.
Right.
I was like, the weather's nice, I'm gonna go.
Right.
Yeah, and it was not. It was still in the months that they closed it down, but it is open again.
But it's
And the first Sunday was yesterday. So
someplace up there. I think they built like a drag strip. Like,
yes,
like an 8 mile or something like that.
they are there. It's Leadfoot City is the name
Yeah,
of the
right
place.
there.
They're working. They have a. It's supposed to become the automotive mecca for Florida, and what they're trying to do seems like a really cool idea if they can pull it off. Which is going to have a drag strip. It's going to have a drift strip. It's going to have like a dirt
Burnout booth.
a burnout booth.
Go up there and burn up your tires.
Yeah, there's going to be like a dirt track, an off road deal where it's going to cater to every style of automotive enthusiasts, including motorcycles and stuff. But it'll have like a full restaurant and like bar area and things like that. You know, so it should be. They'll have car shows and different things, which they already have done on premises there. I've never been to one.
Pull up with Rose.
Yeah, well, that's the plan. Is we still got work to do on that. We still got to finish up Kona on some different stuff, and we still got to figure out a back window thing. And I had this weird idea of making a camper shell the other day.
A camper shell?
Yeah.
To house the back end?
Just to kind of cover it, just to make it a different look. I don't know. I'm kicking around just different ideas of things I want to do to continue that project to keep a.
What would it be made of?
Something lightweight. I don't want to add more weight to it.
Because you said it's already about to pop a wheelie, right?
Yeah.
Just sitting
Well,
still.
the bed is not light.
Yeah,
Even though it's got the rails and stuff. But
I remember you telling me you sort of can feel it, you know.
That rear spoiler thing I did for the back of off the roof, that has changed the way it. I almost feels
the
like
wind tunnels driving it, like you can feel the shear.
You can definitely feel. There's a difference in the way it
starts sashaying or something.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And just handles a little bit differently than it did before. And I don't know. I've gotten used to it now, and it's not like when I first started driving it. After it was, so that might just be the difference in weight distribution compared to the other way it was set up. But still fun to do.
Well, that's your seat, man. You know how it feels.
Yeah.
You know, originally.
Yeah, but a good time. So hey, we're almost at an hour. We're gonna go let you guys for a third try, and it finally held up and everything worked. So I'm glad we didn't give up, and it didn't waste your time, Art.
You see this comment right here?
Which one? This one here?
Yeah.
ADB.
You see that?
Tell Art to thanks for filling in for me tonight.
There's nobody that can take your spot. I'm so out of place because I'm used to sitting over there watching you sit here.
Yeah.
But as long as I didn't screw it up.
No, you did good. You did great, man. So
I appreciate everybody having me.
I would like to say you can tell. So the plan is the evolution of the studio, and tell me this will help.
Right.
We want to put a TV monitor on that wall behind the camera, so that you'll do less of this looking down to see.
So you can look straight ahead.
See up there.
So you can be talking to the people.
You can see what's going on.
Right.
That's
Because
evolution.
Because the people are like, why is he looking on it? Because I'm trying to see a couple of comments also.
Yeah, because we had a computer set up for Art, and that's when all the things went bad, is when we tried to set stuff up. So
it's
funny.
like I was telling Johnny, I like questions and answers, you know, and what was the thing called that she had? The
shakedown.
The shakedown.
That's right.
Itty B, I was ready for the shakedown, but there's no shakedown.
No shakedown.
I said, did she leave 5 questions for me to answer?
And Shag says, studio and tell me if this will help. It's nice meeting you, Art. God bless and stay safe.
Hey, man, nice meeting you too. Through the screen, and stay healthy, man. Get healthy.
Oh, it looks like it was his phone auto corrected, and he goes, I don't know where that came from, but God bless. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, man.
Have a safe trip.
For real, man.
Well, Shag, we appreciate you hopping on, and of course, ADB is sorry you're not there. Yeah, well, we're not sorry. We were able to do it without you. We don't need you. Just kidding. Of course, you're the linchpin. You hold it all together. It's not the same without ADB. Art, you did a great job.
Hey, we had a couple of early on failures, but
Yeah.
I had no practice time. But he's like, hey, can you come in? I'm like, sure, man, I can come over.
It was so I wasn't just talking to myself.
Yeah, you don't want to be like you holding a selfie stick out in front
For
of you.
real.
You know, talking to the, you know.
Yeah, and especially had everything gone south, I'd have gave up. You're the reason why I kept going.
You see, persistence,
trying.
man, persistence.
That's right.
No matter how much man, we got through it.
We got through it.
Yeah.
Another Monday night in the books, as we say here on Sketchy Live.
And I appreciate all y'all.
Thanks for hanging out with us, and we hope that you have a safe week, and we hope to see you on the other side. Don't forget to head over to johnnyjalopy.com, where you can find all kinds of cool stuff, hats, stickers. Well, hats not right now, but stickers, art, all kinds of stuff. The holidays are here. Hit us up. Let Johnny Jalopy be a part of your holiday gift-giving experience. We'd love for you to do that. Any parting words, Art?
Y'all have a nice rest of the year. And happy holidays.
Yeah.
Get ready for 2025, and we're going to make it happen.
That's right. More to come. And as always, make sure you stay sketchy. We'll see you guys very, very soon. Take it
Absolutely.
easy. And now we try to find the outro and go.